going on, everybody? Welcome to the RBS Cinema Podcast.
I know Kung Fu.
Show me.
This is Sparta! I'm thinking I'm back.
Why so serious?
Avengers!
Assemble. I'm Batman.
You better lawyer up, asshole. Because I'm not coming back for 30%. I'm coming back for everything.
I'll be back.
You shall not pass!
RBS.
Lovely.
Welcome, everybody, to a brand new episode of RBS Cinema. This week's episode, we are talking about the new movie, The Bride.
Exclamation point.
Yes, because that will be releasing on May 19th. So by the time this episode actually goes out, it will already be out on DVD. So, which, speaking of, we are here to answer the question every single week. Is this movie actually going to be a rent, buy, or a skip? So it's going to be a little bit different of how we usually go about talking about movies. It's all going to be the same, except for us talking about a movie each week. So instead of us just talking about a random movie every time, now it's just going to be a consistent, hey, this movie's coming out, we're going to talk about it, that sort of deal. Now, there will be times to when we won't have an actual movie that's going to be coming out on DVD that we want to talk about. So in that case, we'll just substitute in one of our movies that we want to talk about.
Yeah, our ever-expanding list of things that we have to to talk about. So
Yes. So with that also being said, I'm your host, Devin. With me, as always, is co-host Jack.
I'm still Jack.
And unfortunately, again, Lou cannot be here because we kind of have a mixed match of schedule this few weeks.
he got tied up at work is basically the
because we're not doing this on a usual day that we usually record, so it's in the middle of the week. So he is indisposed with him working.
And I'm coming back after a brief hiatus. I had to help a friend of mine move last Saturday, so I couldn't be on the last episode, which was Speed Racer, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
so
me and Andy talked about that.
And
so go and watch and listen to that. So that's great.
And we're taping this on Thursday night because Devin is getting his wisdom teeth pulled tomorrow. So he will not be.
Yes.
I will not see him at work tomorrow because he'll be in one
Indisposed.
Well, hopefully not the worst pain ever, because he'll be heavily what's the word?
Inebriated.
Anesthetized, whatever. Like you have anesthesia.
Yeah.
You're drugged, basically.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to get the good stuff. I'm going to take a big old Nini, and I'm not going to talk to anybody for a whole day.
So, scheduling for like when
the next few weeks.
When we record podcasts is going to be a little bit weird because I'm actually doing a lot of moving at the end of this month, so we'll have to do some of these like early, middle of the week recording sessions to be able to talk about some of the ones that we have. So,
yes.
But we should be back to a more consistent. Well,
usual.
You'll still get the episodes the same time that you always do, but
yes,
I'm
which
talking
is every
about
Friday. So
talking about me and Devin are going to be going back to doing it Saturday mornings more than likely, starting in June. So.
Right. So, but yeah, like I mentioned already, there will be times to where there'll be a new movie coming out on DVD, and we just won't talk about it because neither one of us and Lou want to talk about it.
Like, we're not particularly interested in it.
Right. Like, I don't care to talk about, Bridesmaid 5. So, like, we'll just skip that. Or it's like nothing is really coming out to actually talk about. So
I mean, I don't have a good idea of, like, all the things they're releasing on digital and DVD.
Yeah. Because, like,
right
there
now,
will be times to where something will be released on streaming that we would probably talk about if there's nothing that comes out on DVD specifically that week.
Yeah.
So and which we will probably plan in advance for that as well.
Yep.
So, but which, speaking of, thank you everybody so much for watching, listening, tuning in. However you guys are doing it. Again, we just really appreciate you being here. Be sure to subscribe to the channel on YouTube, Spotify, and on Apple Podcasts. Be sure to leave a like on everything and be sure to share around so that way we can kick this thing into high gear.
I want you to tell all your friends about me.
I want to be at basically 50 subscribers by I don't know, the end of June, I'd say, maybe halfway through the summer.
Yeah.
So we're at 41, and that's about 9 more people to subscribe. So
Okay.
get the word out there. I also want to get a Patreon going. So the more that we have people going on, the more of a chance that I will actually start a Patreon. And then hopefully I could eventually quit my job.
Yeah.
So, which I will not get into.
Yeah, best
So
not.
it's a lot. But yeah, that's not the overall arching goal. For me, this is just a big, huge hobby that I love to do. I love talking about movies, especially with my friends like Jack and Lou and JK and a bunch of others that have been on here. So, and possibly more down the line. Who knows?
Yeah,
But yeah, anyhow, again, thank you everybody. That's the push
Devin's
that we'll
doing this
need.
for the love of the game.
Yeah. So I love movies. So I love talking about movies. Which, speaking of movies, let's move on to watch list.
Yeah.
So we'll kick this off.
So I'll probably go. Let me go first because I have a kind of a bigger watch list because I have been gone
Okay.
for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I've only got 3 movies. So
I'll make it really, really quick. So the big one that I want to talk about is I watched the Iron Maiden documentary that recently came out in theaters.
Nice.
With my dad.
Yeah.
And his friends that he's known since college, and they're huge metalheads and they're huge Maiden fans.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Nice.
I recommend it to anybody who. I actually don't know if it was like a one night only thing or if it's still in theaters, but we went on the day that it like first came out or one of the first days that it came out.
Yeah.
Really good, in depth. I didn't know too much about them. I'm only just now starting to get into them. So I always love documentaries. So especially on things I'm interested in.
Right.
So I'm just glad I got a chance to like share that with my dad because I share that like love of heavy metal and stuff like that. I more listen to like a lot of video game soundtracks and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I enjoy that we have like something in common for that. The next movie I watched was the Elvis documentary. Again,
Oh, okay.
I love the Elvis documentary.
I thought that you were going to say the Elvis movie.
No, the Elvis movie. Yes.
Oh, okay. With
Yeah,
Gerard
sorry.
Butler.
Yeah,
Or not Gerard Butler.
The Elvis biopic.
Yeah.
Because I'm just a sucker for biopics, but this one in particular is just so artsy and just so like avant-garde.
Yeah, I still have yet to watch the Elvis biopic.
Yeah.
I should watch it.
Austin Butler is great in it.
That's his name. Austin Butler.
Tom Hanks is great in
Yes.
it. So
Plays as the skeezy
yeah, Colonel
manager.
Tom Parker. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else did I watch? Still watching Invincible season 3. Gotta finish that up. And then I watched Dragon Ball Superhero last night on a whim.
Nice.
So
What did you think of that?
I loved it. I saw it in theaters.
I did too.
And like I think I went alone to watch it.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember who I would have gone to see it with.
Yeah, I saw it with JK and one of my friends probably opening weekend, and I was just like in awe because this was like maybe the second one that I've seen in theaters, because the first one I saw in theaters was Broly.
Yeah.
So
I never got a chance to see Broly in theaters, but like watching Superhero, even now, I'm just like, this is one of the best animated
like movies.
films I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like in terms of like the
Have you ever
sheer.
Have you ever seen the Demon Slayer movies?
I'm not into Demon Slayer, so
Demon Slayer is really good. The animation is so good, as well as like the movies. I saw Mugen Train in theaters,
yeah.
and that was amazing. I also hate, not to get too sidetracked onto this, but like I also hate when an anime movie comes out and then they have to redo that for the series.
Yeah,
That gets annoying because they did that for Mugen Train, and then they also did that. Like I understand of like, oh, like there's a new season or it's the final season, so either having the first couple of episodes in theaters that kind of make it seem like that it's a movie, or like
Yeah.
the last episodes or whatever. So, but
I guess I
continue.
don't like this new thing of like, oh, we're gonna put a movie in between 2 seasons.
Right.
of like a lot of anime movies are coming out, and it's just like it kind of like breaks up the flow of like trying to watch an anime in order, trying to binge watch it, because then it's like Chainsaw Man, the JJK film,
Right.
the even like Spy Family had a movie there. It's just like, how am I supposed to watch this in order? Because like trying to watch Chainsaw Man is like, gotta watch the first season, okay, then you gotta watch this movie,
Right.
and then the second season hasn't even come out yet.
Yeah.
So
And then you gotta sit there and wait and try
Once-
to pick apart what's gonna happen.
once I'm all wrapped up with Invincible, I am gonna go back and watch Chainsaw Man season 1, watch the movie, and then get into season 2.
Yeah, because I need to go back into watching Invincible season 4. I started it and I need to get back into it, but I'm also wrapping some stuff up
Yeah,
that I'm watching. So
like I need to watch the new season of Devil May Cry, because I just need to see if they.
oh yeah, did that come out yet? Season 2?
Yeah, it's out.
Okay.
It came out Monday.
Oh, okay, nice.
I was like,
I need to watch that as
Because
well.
I
My ever-growing list of anime to watch.
I watched the first season of Devil May Cry,
Yes.
and I was like, this is so awesome. I love this. And then as soon as I was done watching it, saw the maybe the day or the day after I watched the final episode, I just hear all of this criticism about it, and I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
my enjoyment of it like slowly was depleted.
Yeah.
Because I just heard about like how the director is kind of like
A slime ball.
and it's like I'm like, oh man, I was really hoping this would be a good like adaptation.
Yeah.
And, like,
but
maybe-
now
maybe-
it's solely by thinking about like the creator being
Yeah, it's like then you
Not-
then
not
you
a
go, then you
great
go look
person.
back and like a lot of like the things that like happened in the first season, like okay, yeah, that is kind of weird.
Yeah.
How that did. But like I am still going to watch season 2. I just need to get around to it.
Yeah.
Like back when I have a more consistent time schedule to be able to like sit down and watch whole series again, because right now schedule's kind of hectic. So,
for sure.
but that's my watch list. I think I covered most of it, so.
Okay. Yeah, because like to piggyback off of like watching TV shows, I'm still watching Breaking Bad.
So good.
I'm all caught up with The Boys with the latest season 5, if I remember. So I am highly anticipating it ending next week, because next week is going to be the last ending, or
Right.
the last episode, I should say.
Right.
At time of recording, let me clarify. And then on top of that, still need to watch Invincible. Need to go through season 4. I am almost done with Daredevil season 2 with Born Again, and I need to watch all that stuff too.
Yeah.
So, like the stuff that you mentioned of, whatever. Sorry, my train of thought got derailed. But one of the things that I do want to do is, God, I can't remember now. I had it and I lost it. Anyhow, moving on to my actual movie watch list. So I watched Apex on Netflix. So have you heard of this?
Does that have something to do with Predator?
No.
No.
It's an entirely new movie. It's got Charlize Theron and Taron Egerton.
No idea
And,
who those guys are. Those names are not ringing a bell.
Charlize Theron, I'm trying to think what else she's been in. She's been in Atomic Blonde. Taron Egerton was from the Kingsman movies.
Never seen them.
You've never seen the Kingsman? You should
put
watch
it on our
them.
list. Put it on the list. Put it
Yeah.
on the list to watch the Kingsman.
Kingsman is super good. They are planning on making an actual third one because there's Kingsman, Golden Circle, and The Kingsman, which is supposed to be a prequel. And then they were talking about making a third one, but I don't know. This has been years since that actually came out.
The King's Woman.
So no, it's still gonna be The Kingsman. But the thing is that so in Apex, Taron Egerton, well, let me back it up. Charlize Theron, she is a climber. So she loses her husband in a climbing accident when they were climbing a giant mountain in a storm. And I think they were trying to get back down, but then he ends up hitting his head, and so she can't hold on to him, so that she lets him go. He ends up dying on the side of the mountain. And so she goes to Australia some odd time later to try to climb this giant mountain that's out there. And then Taron Egerton plays as the bad guy, so then he is basically playing like hunting with her, of being like, hey, so the biggest thing that's been going around the internet is his dancing.
No time to rest.
So because he goes like, hey, so here's a bag, got all your shit in it, like once this on ends, I'm coming after you. And so she like,
is it like a Most Dangerous Game-esque movie?
kind of, sort of, because like I would assume she has survival skills, but not like in the next movie that I have up on my watch list, which I'll get to here in a minute. But yeah, so he just like chases after her and tries to like put her into traps and stuff, and just basically tries to kill her. So
Okay.
and it's actually really good. I actually really enjoyed it. I think it's like maybe a little bit over an hour and a half, so you can knock it out. Next up on my watch list, I have Send Help from Sam Raimi.
Oh.
So which has Dylan O'Brien and Amy Adams, I think Rachel McAdams.
Okay.
So I can't remember. I get them both confused. So one of them is in the movie. So, but it has to do with Dylan O'Brien is her boss, and then
I know exactly what the one you're talking about.
yeah, and then they get trapped on the island.
Right.
So, yeah.
Did that just come out in theaters?
It did not too long ago. It's now streaming on Hulu.
Oh, okay.
So
For free?
For free.
Wow.
So it came out on streaming on May 7th.
Yeah, I kind of
So,
know what
earlier
that
this
one
month.
is. Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw like a little snippet of a trailer for that one. So
Yeah, I couldn't really like find an actual trailer, because when that movie was coming out, it was just a bunch of promotional material on the 20th Century Fox page on YouTube. And so like it would always just play like some random clip, and then it's all like it would shoot out like, for instance, he's like playing golf in his office, and then all of a sudden it cuts to like a bunch of snippets of what happens throughout the course of the movie.
I know exactly what you're talking
so
about.
yeah, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this movie? I don't understand.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of which, I now that you're bringing up like they got trapped on an island somewhere,
Yes.
I also forgot to mention on my watch list, I started watching the first episode of the Lord of the Flies series. On Netflix.
I heard that's
I watched the first episode.
okay.
It was okay. The first episode, I need to still keep watching it, but like I said, it's
Isn't
really
the whole like the season or the series?
it's a series.
Well,
So
yeah, I know it's a
four-
series, but
There's 4 episodes.
Oh,
It's a limited
okay.
series on Netflix.
right. I wasn't sure how long that they were going to go for it. If it was like a limited series, or
I think it's only
something.
4 episodes.
Okay.
So
Well, I meant like, it's a limited series, so it's going to be a limited run. So they'll only have like just these episodes, and then that's it. So there's no more
I think
expansion.
that's how it works.
Okay.
So
Okay, cool.
could be wrong though.
Yeah. So, but yeah, continuing on with Send Help. But yeah, so like they are on the private jet going to some odd place, I don't remember, but then like they have an accident, they crash, and then they're both stranded on the island. And then she has an extensive knowledge of survival stuff, because she's read a bunch of books and stuff like that, like survival tips and all that bunch of junk. So she knows how to make like shelter, fire, what to look for food, poisonous berries, like all this bunch of stuff. And Dylan O'Brien is like the preppy guy that takes over the company from his dad that died.
Oh.
So, and then she was promised a promotion when that happened. And so like his father promised her like VP basically. And so he goes like, nah, fuck it. She's ugly. She's disgusting. All this bunch of shit. Like she's not like polished, and she's not an asshole like I am, type of thing.
For some reason, I thought the vibe of this movie was like, oh, I get trapped onto a desert island with my boss.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill him now.
Yeah, that's pretty much the vibe. But originally
That
that's
never happens though, right?
No, because like when he finally wakes up, because like, he was knocked out for a couple days.
Yeah.
He tries to like still boss her around and stuff. And because he goes like, shouldn't you be like looking to build a really big fire to get a signal out there, or like, get some leaves or something to like basically send help or whatever. And it's just like, no, like there's 3 things that we need, which is like shelter, food, and water. And with that, we can basically survive as long as we need to.
Right.
So, but there's also like times and instances to where it's like, okay, well, there's a boat, and so she doesn't call for help because she's more comfortable being on the island of just the 2 of them. So then she doesn't actually call for help or nothing. Mm-hmm. So because she realizes, oh, if we go back to the real world, pretty much, then I'm still going to be lower than he is, and he's still going to treat me like shit. So, and he can't do this without me because I have the survival stuff. Like I have the survival knowledge that he doesn't. So, but it was actually a pretty good time. It was a pretty good movie, but like I said, it's out on Hulu.
Okay.
So, last up on my watch list was Mortal Kombat 2. So
you saw that in theaters, right?
Yeah. Me and JK went to the theater opening weekend, which at this point would be 2 weeks ago. Yeah. By the time this comes out, and it was actually really good. We both really enjoyed it. Okay. I would say that it's a step up above the first one, so which isn't really saying a whole lot.
Is what's his face back in the movie, right?
I'm trying to remember. Cole. Yeah, he's still there. So, but spoiler alert, he dies. So
how soon into the movie does he die?
Maybe 45 minutes.
Really?
I think. Anywhere between 30 to 45 minutes, if I remember, because the whole premise of it is that now we're getting into the Mortal Kombat specifically. So now it's all like, okay, we have our champions, Outworld has their champions, and now it's just a gamble on who's going to fight who.
Does Kano come back?
Kano does come back, yes.
Kano comes back.
Yes. Very nice. So, but yeah, so like there's, well, I mean, like, he's in the trailer. Yeah. So, I mean, like, he does come back. But, yeah, like, there's a little bit of spoilers here, but I'll try not to, like, spoil a whole lot. But, yeah, like, Shao Kahn fights Cole, and then by the end of it, he, like, kills Cole.
Yeah, okay.
So, smashed his head with his hammer, and then throwing him into, like, the vat of acid. Because, like, that old...
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the old death match area.
The stage.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the stage. Duh. But yeah, like the stage where it's like them on just walkway.
Yeah, walkway, and there's acid on either side. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, which is pretty cool. I will have to say, but yeah. But yeah, there's returning characters. Kano comes back.
Thank God.
Shane Soon, or not Shane. Yeah, Shane Soon's there, but he wasn't gone. Kun Lao. He was dead and he came back.
Yeah, but
so.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, they added some characters too, like Quan Chi.
Yeah,
he's in there.
I was wondering if Quan Chi was going to come
out.
So
yeah, Quan Chi's there. Shao Kahn is a new addition.
Yeah.
Who was it? I'm drawing a blank on what her name is, but Katana is in there.
Yeah.
So as well as like her right hand woman that is supposed to protect her. Yeah, Jade. That's her name. So yeah, Jade's in there. Like. All the characters from the first one are still there. So, but no, It was actually a really good time. Me and JK actually got popcorn buckets.
Oh yeah, the Shao Kahn buckets.
Yeah. Well, like there was a Shao Kahn bucket, but that's sold out. So we didn't get a chance to actually see it. But the kid at the counter, he goes like, yeah, like I thought about getting it because you could also take the helmet off and you could just have the tin. And then if your head is small enough, you can actually put on the helmet.
Put on the helmet, yeah.
So I was just like, oh, that would have been cool. And he goes like, yeah, like it would have been sick. But I ended up getting one. JK ended up getting the other because they had just like a square popcorn bucket where it's green and it has the dragon logo, Shao Kahn's helmet on there, Katana's fan blade, and Johnny Cage's like sunglasses and like his belt buckle.
Keith Urban, yeah.
Yeah, not Keith Urban.
What?
It's not his name.
Is that?
God damn it. Carl Urban.
Carl Urban, yeah.
Keith Urban is the country singer.
Oh, right.
But
I knew it was something Urban.
Yeah.
With a K.
Yeah.
So.
Carl Urban.
My bad. My bad to all the Keith Urban fans out there.
Fuck Keith Urban fans. And then on the other side, what was it?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, that was it. So,
Yeah.
But, yeah, and then JK got the other metal popcorn bucket, which is the arcade machine.
Oh, okay.
Which the screen is a little holographic of like the characters,
Oh,
which I did tell him to, which would have been a really cool addition because it's kind of holographic.
Uh-huh.
If you actually like, depending on how you moved it, you could see more characters on there. So,
Right.
but it was just like some of the characters on there instead of all of them. So, which is still pretty cool, but still. But yeah, that's it for watch list. So, are we ready to talk about The Bride?
The Bride exclamation point? Absolutely.
Yeah, The Bride of Frankenstein.
Except she's just the bride now.
Yeah, because like the whole thing before we get into it is that like there's this one line of dialogue where she goes like Frankenstein, Steen, and
Yeah.
he goes like Frankenstein, and
Yeah.
she goes like okay, but
Is
like
German? Swiss, actually.
yeah, Swiss actually, because like it's the whole thing that he's technically supposed to be Frankenstein.
No.
I thought it was supposed to be specifically Frankenstein because he's Jewish. Like the
No.
doctor was Jewish.
I don't think no. I don't think so.
I don't know.
I know
I've
that-
always
I know
heard
that
it.
it's-
I've always heard it as Frankenstein, and I always say it as Frankenstein. But
It
there are
is.
some people out there that say that it's actually supposed to be pronounced Frankenstein.
Well,
So-
why don't we ask Mary Shelley? Oh wait,
So,
we can't.
She's dead. Yeah. No, she's not. She's alive.
Yeah.
In The Bride.
This-
So
I was not expecting this because like I saw the trailers for The Bride.
yes.
And I was like, this looks kind of interesting. It looks. Like, I thought this was gonna be like a musical for whatever reason.
Yeah.
The
what it
costuming
seemed
was
like it.
crazy.
Yeah.
Like it
The
seemed like it
dance
was gonna,
numbers
yeah,
and
like
stuff.
there was there's only one dance number in it.
Specifically the one that they do, but there's times in the movie where Frank envisions himself in the movie.
Like I really thought this was gonna be some sort of like weird musical or something like that.
Yeah, which I will get to here in a second.
But I always like wanted to go see it. I thought it might be kind of interesting. I always like wanted to take Annie to go see it.
Yeah.
But then like I just never got around to it. And then like when you told me that we were gonna watch it, I was like, okay, cool, interesting.
Yeah.
And I saw the reviews and I'm like reviews are sitting at like 70% for audience score,
Yeah.
50% for critic score.
Right.
And I was just like, okay, what's the matter with this?
Right.
Didn't look at the reviews or anything like that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we'll look at that when we look at suggestible people after we're done reviewing the movie.
Yes.
But I went into it like not completely blind because I did see the trailers.
Yeah.
But it was not what I was expecting for sure.
Yeah.
It was kind of what I was expecting, but like there was
Not
something
specifically.
I didn't think that it was going to take the turn that it did in terms of how the plot like sort of shook out.
Yeah, that's for sure. So before we get in depth into the movie, we'll talk about what specifically the movie is about, the plot, the writer, director, stars, all that boring stuff, and then we'll talk more in depth about what we enjoyed about the movie or just general conversation. So with that being said, in 1930 Chicago, Frankenstein asks Dr. Euphronius to help create a companion. They give life to a murdered woman as the bride, sparking romance, police interest, and radical social change. Movie was directed and written by Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Yes.
With also co-writer Mary Shelley. But I'm pretty sure that they
That's-
always okay, so whenever they do that, they always want to credit the person that originally
the
made.
same thing happened when we reviewed War of the Worlds.
Yes.
2025.
And I also did the same thing last week with Speed Racer because they also credited the original creator of Speed Racer from the
Yeah, but
19 I don't know, 60s anime, 70s, I don't know.
Oh yeah. Well, I was
80s, whatever.
I mean, if it was in the 80s, I could maybe believe that he was around to help like touch up
Oversee
some
it.
details, like especially
yeah.
if it was in like it was like what 2005,
2008.
2008. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, but like Mary Shelley has been dead for over 2 centuries at this point.
Yeah. That's like, even in this, it's like 1930s, but she died in like 18 something, right?
1818.
Yeah.
Like
So way before that.
I forgot that Frankenstein was even written like back then.
Yeah,
Like,
I do
'cause
too.
This is like written just after America declared its independence. So we're talking about like post, like American Revolution, Great Britain,
right?
Like way before even like the Industrial Revolution and stuff like that. Like, I mean, I took a whole. There was a whole like. It was either a whole quarter in senior year of high school where we talked about Frankenstein.
Yeah.
And I really need to go back and, because we talked about Frankenstein on this podcast.
Right. Yeah. Because like we talked about Guillermo del Toro's on Netflix.
So it's kind of funny that we're now talking about
The Bride.
The Bride as well.
Which is also like I was going to say that is also really interesting to mention that because it's just like, yeah, like we talked about that last year in November. I think it was in November. And then now we're talking about The Bride that came out, I think earlier this year in 2026.
And yet both movies are very, very distinct from one another, and they don't...
And they're very different.
It's not like you're watching Frankenstein over again, like Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, because it takes... Like, obviously... Guillermo del Toro's is more a tries to be close to the actual book of Frankenstein. Of course, there are some like creative liberties that are taken there, like with the stylization and costuming and stuff like that. Whereas this one is more about like, it's kind of, I mean, I don't know if there is a book called The Bride of Frankenstein or anything like that.
I don't know
but
either.
It's kind of like Frankenstein fan fiction a little bit,
kind of sort of, because like, I do remember, and I talked to Grace about this too, about how they have the old Universal Frankenstein monster in black and white, and then they also came out with The Bride of Frankenstein, which is pretty much the same thing, like just more simplified than this movie is, because it's all like it's from her perspective of being like, so Frankenstein is lonely, so then he asks, like, the doctor ends up making the bride for him, and then she's terrified of Frank because he's a monster, and she's able to actually talk, and he just, like, grunts and screams and whatever, so he can't actually make thoughts, or he can't actually talk.
But in this one...
I don't know, don't quote me on it, because I never saw it, so I don't know.
Yeah, me neither. So, like, this one, I love how Frank is a fleshed out, well-established character.
Yes, 100%.
Who has his own backstory, and it doesn't, like... It's not all about Frankenstein, it's about...
her.
It's about the bride.
Yeah.
So, but... Yeah, we should probably get into, like...
Yeah.
We had to talk about the cast first, right?
Yeah.
I have some more thoughts that I want to share.
Right, yeah. So we'll kick off with top cast here. So we got Jessie Buckley, who plays as Ida, the bride, as well as Mary Shelley. So she plays as three, so she's a triple threat.
She's got, like, so many, like, names in this one. Ida, Penelope, the bride.
Pretty Penny. Mary Shelley. And then we got Christian Bale, who plays as Frank, or Frankenstein himself.
Yeah.
Got Annette Bening, who plays as Dr. Euphroneous. Penelope Cruz is Myrna Malloy, who plays as the female detective. So
Penelope Cruz just sounds like it's like, where in the world is Diego Garcia?
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like that if they made a modern remake, she would knock it out of the park. Pretty sure that she would be her.
Penelope Cruz, I feel like when I was watching her on screen, I feel like I'd seen her before in something else.
Yeah, she's very familiar. I don't know what else that she's been in off the top of my head.
But I know that Dr. Euphroneous was in Captain Marvel.
Yes.
That's the one other thing that I've seen.
She played as her director. Well, her direct, what is it? Captain? Whatever.
I don't know. Yeah, because, like, for some reason, I looked at Dr. Euphroneous and I'm like, is that like Professor McGonagall from Harry Potter? And I'm so glad that I didn't say that out loud, because like in front of Annie, because she's like, no, it's not. You know, she's
as a matter of fact, she's not.
Because like you never know if like someone is just like putting on an American accent and they're really like British. Like Jessie Buckley is Irish, so but I thought that was kind of interesting. But like, and then there was the other guy who was the detective, What was his name?
Peter Sarsgaard. Not Skarsgård, Sarsgaard.
Sarsgaard.
So he played as Jake Wiles, who was the actual male detective.
Yeah.
Also supposed. He's not the leading detective because she is, but because this is also in the 1930s, nobody ever respected women back then. So especially like towards the end of the movie when they have the giant shootout, and then she finally steps in front and says, "Stop shooting!"
Yeah,
like they're dead. Just fucking stop. And
like,
then,
who
and
are
then,
you?
yeah, they're like, "Who are you?" And so she goes like, "I'm the leading." Like she starts going like, "Hey, officer, like captain, we need to like have
Secure the
these
crime
men
scene, yeah.
secure the crime scene." And there's also somebody going down the fire escape, so I want to question him as well.
Yeah, get that guy.
So he goes like, "Who am I taking orders from?" She goes like, "I'm the lead detective on this case." And so he goes like, "Oh God, a female detective? What is this world coming to?" So, like, and it's that whole thing of being like, like anytime that they talked to other cops, like when they were going through the cookie crumbs of trying to follow them, he would always talk to them because she wouldn't get the respect, so nobody would ever talk to her.
She has the detective skills,
right? She's more competent than any of the cops that are in this movie.
and again, you can just like she says it, but you can also just tell.
Yeah, 100%. And then it's got a couple more people I wanted to shout out. So Jake Gyllenhaal is also in this.
Ronnie Reed.
Yeah, Ronnie Reed.
So Maggie Gyllenhaal and Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yes, they're siblings.
They're siblings.
Yes.
Okay.
He, I believe, is older than her.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I don't know who's older than who, but yes, they are siblings. They're brother sister.
Okay.
So, which is actually pretty interesting that she directed and also wrote it, and then also got her brother into it.
Well, he's also a pretty good actor as well.
Well, yes,
I loved
100%.
him in I loved him in Zodiac. I thought he was great.
Yeah. I recently saw him in a movie, Source Code. So I don't know
Okay.
if you've ever seen that.
I've not.
So it's actually a pretty good time. It's a good sci-fi movie. And then we got John Majaro, who plays as Clyde. Matthew Maurer is James. And Jeannie Berlin is Greta. And Zlatko Buric is Lupino.
Yeah.
Who's like
Lupino.
the mob guy.
The mob boss who kills women and cuts out their tongues. So.
Yeah. So I thought it was interesting that after I started looking at the cast list, that Zlatko Buric, I was all like, wait, is that the guy from Wonder Man? And I clicked on him, and sure enough, that was one of the things that popped up that he recently worked on was Wonder Man, which is great.
Okay.
So you should watch it if you haven't. And I've only got, yes, it's true, a couple of taglines.
Couple two.
So one of them is, "Here comes the motherfucking bride." Because it's supposed to be like from the intro of the movie.
Yeah, 'cause it's this movie's rated R.
Yeah, got to
And
throw in the F words whenever we can.
We swear and we talk about sex
Yeah,
and genitalia.
right. And the last one is just, "There's a monster inside us all."
Okay,
So-
that's lame.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that one is just on the poster. I'm almost certain that it is. Now we can actually start talking more specifically about the movie. So
Maggie Gyllenhaal, I find it funny that like she got Christian Bale for this movie because she's Rachel in The Dark Knight.
right. Yeah, because then she was... No. Maggie Gyllenhaal replaced the girl that was in the Batman Begins.
Right.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I said she's in The Dark Knight. She's
Yes.
Rachel.
Yes.
Yes.
Rachel!
And so she got she probably was like, "Hey, I'm writing this movie.
Do you want to be in
Do
it?
you want to be Frankenstein?" He's
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, sure, why not?"
Yeah. Yeah. We used to work together, so sure. I'll be Frankenstein. I'll be Frank with you. Looks at camera.
May I be frank?
But I love the premise of this movie is that Mary Shelley is just like chilling in the afterlife and she's fucking bored.
Yeah.
So she just like she
Possesses Ida.
a woman in the 1930s like the 1930s Chicago.
Yeah.
Specifically. It's just so random.
It is very
Yeah.
random how this movie starts because it's just like we get the backdrop that it's all black and then all of a sudden Mary Shelley pops up out of the darkness
Knock,
and
knock.
just goes like, knock, knock, it's me, Mary Shelley, the writer of fucking Frankenstein.
And
then this one isn't about Frankenstein. I actually have a news story to tell. So my biggest thing that I'm fucking confused by all of this shit, right? So throughout the course of the movie, ever since the get-go, Ida is possessed by Mary Shelley.
Mary Shelley,
right?
yes.
And her rage. So, against men in general, but more specifically Lupino.
yeah.
I don't know what the fuck she has to do with Lupino. I'm sure that she didn't even fucking know who he was.
I don't
So,
think Mary Shelley has anything to do with them.
like the characters.
I think they're I think she's just like bored.
Yeah.
Essentially. But like
Pretty much.
because she's possessing Ida.
Yeah.
Because again, like a spoiler down the line is that Ida was like working with the police
Right.
to be able to uncover shit about Lupino by getting sleazy with these guys on Wall Street.
Yeah, because like the whole thing about it is that like the main guy that is in the beginning of the movie, Clyde. So like we find out later on that Lupino knows that Clyde was fucking around with her.
Yeah.
Because he goes like, oh, like how's the family? And then starts talking about his side piece and stuff.
Right.
Being Ida.
'Cause
And then because he goes like, oh, like how's that side piece? He goes like, well, now that I have a family, I can't really do that anymore. And it's because that like they ended up killing her by basically throwing her down the stairs.
Yeah.
But then he goes like, well, that can't be true because she's right here in the paper, like as the bride. And then it was the thing where they start talking about like, well, we'll take care of it. And God, I don't know. I was going somewhere with that, but now I lost it. I don't remember.
Because the whole thing happened was in the middle of dinner, Mary Shelley just possesses this woman.
Yeah.
And then she has a public freak out. And it's like this character is all over the place, but she's designed that way.
Right. That's what it was. So yeah, because Clyde was fucking around with Ida.
Yeah.
And then while he was doing that at the time, he started having loose lips, is what Lupino says. And then he goes like, yeah, you have loose lips, especially when you're getting your dick sucked, basically.
Yeah.
And then
bunch of gross stuff.
Yeah, and then so he basically just goes like, you need to keep your lips shut, go and kill her, cut out her tongue, give it back to me.
Yeah.
And it was the thing where the detective, Jake, he starts telling Malloy that, yeah, like I slept with her because
I felt bad
she
for
was
her.
yeah, I felt bad for her. Like she was in a bad spot. Like she was like in prostitution from a very young age.
Yeah.
And so like, I wanted to help her out and try to get her out of there. And that was the whole thing. But then he ended up starting to work for Lupino.
Yeah.
And all that bunch of stuff. So and now he feels bad, and then he just goes like, you know what, I'm quitting the force. I'll have you be lead detective,
yeah,
Malloy.
take my badge.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's the whole thing with Ida.
With Ida. But then that's kind of like a side thing that's also going on because now Mary Shelley is possessing Ida, and sometimes she'll just like quickly switch accents.
Yeah.
And she'll just be spouting nonsense,
is
basically.
actually really good that she was able to switch up her dialect.
Yeah.
And also just the way that she was able to talk as Mary Shelley, like her cadence, her like super quick-witted dialogue.
She'll just like spout out random like interconnected words of vocabulary.
Yes. She's
And,
basically a fucking encyclopedia of words.
Yeah, because it's all a bunch of word salad. Because everyone around her thinks she's just going crazy, but we the audience know what's happening.
Right.
What's throwdown, mate? Shipmate, helpmate, stalemate, amalgamate, imitate, decimate, transubstantiate. Excuse me, sublimate, consummate, checkmate.
Aye, mate. You have an amazing vocabulary.
But I think it's so interesting that completely unrelated, Mary Shelley possesses Ida, and then Ida gets thrown down a flight of stairs.
Right.
And
now she's dead.
now she's dead. So like, Mary Shelley's like, oh well, great.
Well, what the fuck am I supposed to do now?
Like in her perspective, it was like, great. Now what do I do?
Right.
I'm stuck inside this body, and it's a dead body. So like,
I'm dead again.
I guess I'll just hang out here for a little bit.
Yeah, because like I didn't really understand like the connection between Mary Shelley and Frankenstein being there, because it's all like, okay,
Well,
so
I
the thing is that like, okay, in this reality, Frankenstein is real.
Yeah.
Mary Shelley is also real.
Yeah.
Like obviously Mary Shelley was an actual person that
is
lived.
now dead and is now a ghost.
But here's the thing, though. I did not understand. Okay, so did she base her story on something that actually happened, or is this just a work of fiction, and now this is just a continuation of her story?
I think you can interpret...
Because she's in the story specifically. Because they literally... Because he... Or not... she specifically says, I am being possessed by Mary Shelley, who is the author of Frankenstein. So obviously, Mary Shelley was real. Frankenstein is just a story, but yet Frankenstein is actually real.
I think you can
and alive.
I think you can interpret either way, honestly.
Right.
I think it's kind of interesting to think about that. Like, yeah, maybe Frankenstein was real, and in this universe, or maybe it is all a story.
Yeah.
But if we're going off the fact that maybe Frankenstein was real,
Mm-hmm.
and Mary Shelley is recounting those events, right? And then Frankenstein is still alive because he's a monster and supposedly immortal. And so we have gone from 1818, from when the book was written, and now all of a sudden Frankenstein is in 1930s Chicago.
Right, which is like 100+ years.
And like so Frankenstein somehow crossed the ocean.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this is ridiculous, because normally I would be like, this makes no sense.
Yeah.
But like, this movie is kind of nonsensical. And we can, but that's okay, because it's supposed to be a weird. It's supposed to be weird. It's supposed to be a dark romance.
Yeah,
and it's supposed to the nature of the film and the writing is naturally chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
So we can if it was trying to tell a coherent story, it would be kind of all over the place. But it's supposed to be like jumbled up in pieces. So. We're going to go off of I think that my theory is that Frankenstein was real, but Mary Shelley was also a real person, but they're both real people.
Yeah.
Mary Shelley is dead, and she is just bored, and she just wants to possess, and so completely unrelated. Frankenstein is now in the same city of the person that Mary Shelley is possessing.
Right. Well, I mean, it was the whole thing that what I already said before. Was that he goes to Dr. Euphronius to make a companion. Yeah, and
Dr. Euphronius, it turns out, is a woman.
Yeah.
An older woman that he, again, he had no idea, because it's the whole gender rules.
Because, he tried to send letters but got no response, so then he just decided to go to Chicago to actually confront her face-to-face, but to him... It's supposed to be a he.
Because he...
And he even goes I'm here to see Dr. Euphronius. She doesn't say that I'm Dr. Euphronius at first.
Yeah.
Because he goes I've been sending letters, I've got no response, so that's why I'm here. And she goes well, I'm going to go and get some some research or something like that. I don't remember, but she tries to run downstairs and he goes but I'm here to see Dr. Euphronius. She goes I am Dr. Euphronius. I was oh, okay, cool. And he just goes oh, I didn't think that you would be a woman. And so and whatever. And so I think it would have been funnier if she would have been well, I didn't think that you would be real either.
Yeah. So. Because she's kind of in disbelief that it's actually Frankenstein.
Yeah.
And he looks more like how most people assume
Frankenstein would
look, instead of sexy like he was in Guillermo del Toro's.
Right.
The amount of people who are man, I thought Frankenstein was supposed to be a monster. Why is he hot? Why is he why is he hot, basically?
Because because she starts looking at him like looking at the scars and the like staples in him and
Because
stuff like
in
that.
her
and then
reality-
also, he used to have the bolts in his neck, and then she even said like, you know, I don't think that she ever asked like what happened here, but she was like inspecting that, and so he goes like, I took him out.
I missed that. I missed that. Like
Yeah,
part of,
because like she's basically looking over his body,
yeah, because
and then she notices like where the bolts used to be, because like, you know, they're still there, right? Like the bolts in his neck, but like they're not outward.
because
So
to
then
her
you-
knowledge, like Frankenstein was just a story,
Right.
but here's the real Frankenstein.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why she's like basically looking him over,
Yeah.
seeing all like the stuff on his body, and he goes like, yeah, I took him out. Because he instinctively knows by her looking at his neck
Yeah.
that like he's supposed to have bolts, but
I
he
totally
said
missed
I
that.
took those out. So
So to get down to like why he's here, he basically says like, I am lonely.
yeah, I'm lonely.
I am
want a
so
companion.
lonely.
Yeah, and then especially when he goes to like shake her hand.
Yeah.
I want to shake your hand.
I want to shake his hand.
I'm gonna shake your hand. I wanna shake his hand. I wanna shake his hand.
And, and so like
He's like, that's the first time I ever had that interaction.
Right. Like that's the first time I actually had like human touch. And so she goes like, how was it? And he goes like, it was exquisite. Like I want more of that, but I don't want to just have it with you.
And he's like, I want to be
gross
very
old
clear.
bag.
I don't want any sex stuff. You
Yeah.
know, I don't want it to be weird. I just want companionship.
Yeah. I don't want all of that stuff. I want to be able to hold hands. That's
Yeah.
cool, I guess. Like I like that.
And at first she's like, "Do you want me to reanimate a corpse for you?" And I was like, "I'm not."
Yeah, because it was funny too, because she started talking about like, you know, basically resurrecting a prostitute almost.
Yeah.
Of just talking about like, oh yeah, like put in your requests now, like, you know, do you want me to have her like have big tits and
or be a redhead. You know?
yeah.
And even if we had one complete cadaver, what? We're gonna find you a plucky redhead? We're gonna find you a dead plucky redhead for a tryst. Tall, perky titties. Put in your requests now.
Like I thought that was actually pretty funny that she started poking fun at that. And he goes like, no, I just want somebody to spend time with. Like that's it. So
I like how our housekeeper like screams the first time that
Yeah.
like she sees him. That's great.
yeah, Greta. She was great. I loved Greta. But yeah, then, you know, like they go like she's not on board at first.
Yeah, no.
And stuff. So then she finally caves in and does it anyway, because he goes like, oh, you're a great doctor, so, you know, like, you know, I know that you could do it. And she goes like, you know what, you're right, I can do it. So then they grab Ida and then they resurrect her, and they, I think probably, I was gonna say embalming fluid, but that's not what
They
used.
use some sort of like special fluid,
Yeah,
some special chemicals,
some
just, like,
special black
They
ink.
injected her with the goop.
Yeah, with venom. They inject her with venom.
Have you ever seen the guy, like the TikTok of the guy that's like just walking around like a car shop and he just sticks his hand into like a vat of like goop?
No.
He just puts it into his pocket. Let me see if I can find that video real quick.
That sounds fucking awesome. Man, that's funny. But no, it's super funny because like when she becomes alive again, she just goes like, oh, I don't remember what happened in my previous life. And then throughout the whole movie, he's gaslighting her. It's gaslighting the movie.
Yeah.
Because he just goes like throughout the course of the movie, she keeps asking questions, and then he keeps making shit up on the fly, especially towards the like end of the movie when she starts asking like, how did you propose? And he goes like, well, we were driving in a car like this, and like you were bummed about something, and then I reached into my pocket and I had this ring and I gave it to you. And so she started filling in information for him of going like, oh yeah, like it was ruby red. And he goes like, yeah, it was ruby red. And then we went and we had oysters, which is your favorite. And at the beginning of the movie, she doesn't like oysters. And so she goes like, but what happened to the ring? He goes like, well, we had to pawn it to get the oysters and lobsters and stuff. So that to me was actually pretty shitty for him, just to be like, yeah, like there's all this bunch of great stuff, and like, but you don't remember any of it. So I gotta tell you, like, especially when she asks like, what's my name? And he starts like saying names for her,
like Ginger.
Yeah, like Ginger, and she goes like, that doesn't sound right. And he goes like, no, I'm just kidding you. Like,
no, it's your name.
It's Penelope. And so she goes like, Penelope. Yeah, that sounds about right. And then so he goes like, yeah, my pretty penny is what I used to call you.
Yeah.
So
he just wants to do whatever he can to make like her stick around. So she's just telling her what all the things that she wants to hear.
Right. And especially when before she comes back, he goes like, oh, like, we can't do this. She's too beautiful. And
I like that. It's like,
and so then he doesn't want to do it anymore, and she goes like, well, I can't just leave this body in my fucking
have
laboratory,
a dead body in, like,
on
in
my
lab
desk
overnight. You know?
It's like, it's either now or never, Frank. Like, that's it. And then he starts freaking out because he's supposed to actually pull down the switch, and he doesn't because of his nerves.
Yeah,
and then
he gets really nervous.
And then she goes like, okay, let's do this together, and then she becomes alive again. It's alive. So
they don't say that.
Well, I know.
I'm kind of glad that they didn't.
Well, they also didn't do that in Guillermo del Toro's either.
Yeah, no, because it would have been really cheesy.
Yeah, because like everybody's pretty much done that, like, it's alive, and all that bunch of stuff. So I did like the fact that like nobody said that in this, because it's overly drawn out. Everybody that does this kind of thing always says it, because it's such an iconic fucking line in cinema history.
And I like how, like, what's her name? The doctor?
Dr. Euphonious.
Euphonious, yeah. Euphonious is just so, like, I like, she's not as excited as I expect her to be about, like, oh, I literally just brought a person back from the dead.
Well, I mean, like, especially towards the end of the movie, she talks about how she did that before with her husband.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And because, like, because her and her husband were trying to do this experiment.
Yeah.
And I think that he was dying of something. I don't remember.
And then she brought him back, and then he wasn't the same.
And then he wasn't the same because he didn't remember her.
Yeah.
And then so she goes like, so I had to put him down. And so because he wasn't right. And she goes like, well, I'm not right, so you're going to put me down? And so I think before, like, she was actually going to answer on yes or no or whatever, or just a response in general, like, Clyde comes out and just starts shooting her. And then when that happens, all the cops run in and they just end up shooting her.
Yeah. So
a little bit of a spoiler at the end, but, whatever. So, but now then the thing that I really enjoyed was the fact that Mary Shelley is just a freak. Throughout the course of this movie, she's constantly talking about sex.
Well, so you have to understand that, like, again, she mentioned this a little bit in the beginning where it's like, oh yeah, I wrote Frankenstein on a dare. Yeah. But like another interesting tidbit about Mary Shelley that I remember my English teacher telling me about, my Brit Lit teacher in high school, was that, like, Mary Shelley, like, pissed on, like, a grave of somebody who was, like, a critic, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Mary
Shelley was in, like, kind of not like
crazy, but
like she was really quirky and weird.
Yeah.
So, I remember that, like, as I was, like, going through and watching this movie again.
Right.
Because, like, there wasn't enough of Mary Shelley's influence, I feel like, in Guillermo del Toro's.
No, it was just like her story. That's it.
Yeah, they took the story of Frankenstein, but there wasn't too much you could feel of Mary Shelley's influence.
Right. It definitely made it feel like it's a Guillermo del Toro movie because he has a certain style.
Yeah, and
that he has, just like everybody else does.
Like, I mean, of course, it's about Dr. Frankenstein and his monster, right?
Yeah.
It's two male characters, but like, you have to remember that it's a woman who wrote this. And so I think that this movie wasn't necessarily made in response
Yeah.
Because they were probably developed around the same time.
Probably.
So, but like this is for people who are interested in more of Mary Shelley's work.
Yeah.
And like not this like it's kind of more of a tribute to her.
Yeah.
I like to say,
That's pretty much it.
Which is not necessarily a bad thing. But like you can tell there's a lot of like feminist tones.
Yeah,
in themes in this film.
Because like it's the whole thing where later on, they're at that party.
Yeah.
That Jake Gyllenhaal's at, which unexpectedly was at, because they didn't know that he was going to be there. Well, they just ran in because like, they're on the run from the cops because they're just on the run.
Well, no, because like even before that, like Frank and Ida are going around, like because she just woke up and she wants to go do some things and he wants to be able to spend time with her because he's lonely.
Well, yeah.
And one of the things they go to do is first they go see a movie.
Yeah. Which this was actually really funny because Frank starts talking to her about Jake Gyllenhaal and how he has like a gimp leg.
Yeah.
And like, because one leg is taller than the other, and he needs a special shoe.
Because he used to have polio.
Yeah, and so he goes like, yeah, I remember him as a boy when he was first getting into show business.
I knew a kid like that.
Yeah.
That had that exact thing where one leg was shorter than the other, and I remember he had that
like special shoe.
And I never like. Again, I didn't know him too well because he was special needs,
mm-hmm.
but I recognized that. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
polio.
That I kind of remember that.
Yeah,
but
because he starts talking about it, and so she goes like, oh, is that your kink? Like you like one shoe, you like one leg to be bigger than the other, and then she has her feet propped up and just like moves her foot to where it's shorter than the other, and he goes like, no, I'm not into that.
But like.
Like, no, I'm not into feet. Sorry.
A running theme is that Frank imagines himself in
the movies.
In the movies and stuff like that.
Because he wants to be like the dancer, the singer, the leading man, pretty much, in those types of movies.
It reminds me of like another film where that same thing was happening where the guy would keep imagining himself. Oh, it was like the Joker.
Yeah. No, like that's basically what this is a much better version of Joker Folie à Deux.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I literally, when I was watching this, I was all like, this is specifically like Joker Folie à Deux. Instead of a bunch of singing numbers, it's somewhat dance numbers. But he envisions himself in the movies.
Yeah.
Instead of like going into a psychosis state of going like, is this real or not type of thinking. And like, because like, you know, there are times to when he envisions himself in the movie specifically. Yeah. And stuff like that.
It happens like throughout the entire like thing, because there's a lot of scenes of him going to see the movies.
Right.
So that's important to know because the movies you're going to see are Ronnie Reed, which is Jake Gyllenhaal's character. Yeah. So, but even before that, they go to this rave.
Yeah. This underground rave, which is great.
But like, I thought that was very out of place in like 1930s Chicago, of them going to like this party where like everyone's masked, like
no,
like that,
I think that's around the time of the Prohibition. Because
no, like 1930s. This is the middle of the Great Depression.
Yeah.
You're talking about the 1920s. Is
because is that because I'm trying to remember the Prohibition era of. Like Al Capone. I think that was the 1920s because then it's just like they couldn't drink alcohol because it's outlawed and stuff. And then there were specific like places that they would make their alcohol or
like
hide
a speakeasy,
it.
But like
speakeasy.
But like this is like
1930s Chicago.
I guess that's the one thing that kind of like was out of like a smallest of small nitpicks. So like I didn't really understand the whole. Like I
it's
guess
the fact that like she's a party girl, so she wants to party and
they
stuff.
They wanted to have an environment where there's a bunch of other freaks, so she would not look out of place.
Right.
And then they leave, and then she like almost gets essayed.
Yeah, and then Frank stops it, and then curb stomps one guy's fucking head out.
And they kill two guys basically, and then then they're on the run for the rest of the movie.
Right. And like that's the reason why they hop on the train, and then they're on the way to New York, and that's why the rest of the movie they are in New York, and then they get out of New York, going through the different places that the movies that Jake Gyllenhaal was in were basically the places that they took place in.
Because they're basically
So-
like Bonnie and Clyde, basically.
Right.
They're
And
two-
like, yeah, that was the other thing that I thought of, was like, it's a Bonnie and Clyde Joker Folie à Deux movie.
yeah.
Because, you know, like, again, they have the giant score. They have him envisioning himself in the movies. It's specifically him doing a dance number, as well as like them running around, like, now at this point in the movie, like, killing people and stuff.
Yeah.
Because, like, with no, not repercussions, but with no caution, pretty much.
Well,
Because
it mostly turns to her though.
well, yeah, because he only kills like two guys.
Because he knows how dangerous it can be if
Yeah,
you,
and that's the reason why that he goes out on the run, and he goes like, "No, go home." Like,
yeah.
because he goes upstairs to the doctor's house to get his stuff,
get
and then
outta
he
here.
goes like, "Go home." She goes like, "I don't remember where
I
I,
don't know.
live."
Yeah.
And then he
I
goes
was-
like, "Okay, come with me then." And then they run off together.
I thought that was kind of
So,
sad.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, she kind of has to go with him now.
Right.
Like
because now she's
where
specifically
would
a
she
monster.
go, you
right.
know?
So, but yeah, I did think that, like, what you said about like the feminism movement, because in that point when they are at that party, she talks about a brain attack because she's
Yeah.
having all of this rage from all of these different ghost women that are possessing her, or like she's having all of these feelings of rage and betrayal and sadness
she
and
wants
all this bunch of
justice for
stuff.
all the women
Right.
that Lupino killed.
Right. And like that's the whole cadence with her, and that's the reason why she goes off onto this whole thing, and Mary Shelley's on top of everything else, because like she also pops in from time to time to take control over her
Yeah.
and her thoughts and, you know, all that bunch of stuff.
It happens
So-
a lot at the beginning of the film, but
yeah, but then
as
as it goes on, it kind of subsides.
it becomes more of Ida, which is
Right.
really interesting.
Yeah.
That like she starts to regain more of her memory, and then Mary Shelley is pushed down more and more and more.
Right.
And then, because like Mary Shelley's always like dropping in on her, she say like, "Knock, knock,
Yeah.
it's me.
Yeah.
Don't you know who you are? You're the bride.
Yeah.
I gave you a name, but I'm not gonna tell you what it is yet. You're gonna figure that out for yourself." And then
Yeah.
eventually later on, it's her trying to talk back to Mary Shelley, which I
Yeah.
thought was a really interesting
Because
progression.
she goes like Mary, I want this to stop. Like,
yeah,
can you stop this? Blah blah blah, whatever. And also, like towards the end of the movie, she calls herself the bride.
yeah.
And she goes like, "I'm not the bride of Frankenstein.
I'm just
I'm
the
not
bride."
Ida. I'm not Pretty Penny. I'm just the bride." And especially when she does the same thing that Mary Shelley did, which is like, "Knock knock," and she goes like, "Who's there?" And she goes like, "The bride." She goes
Yeah.
like, "The bride of who?" "Just the bride."
Yeah,
Which is great.
because
So-
like closer towards the end of the film, they get stopped as they're trying to go to.
Niagara Falls.
I think this is after Niagara Falls, though.
Well, they never made it to Niagara Falls because they got stopped by
Oh, yeah,
police
that's right.
cruiser, and
Yeah,
then
in
and
the-
then
in the
she
middle of, like, a
and then
field.
he ends up shooting both of them, and then they run off, and now they're somewhere else. I don't remember.
No, but like, there's one point where they get stopped in the middle of a field, and it's her and Frank, and they're talking about, oh, how, like, you know, I kind of want to have a life together and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's at the drive-in.
No, because this is when Frank dies, I'm pretty sure. Because Frank gets shot in the head.
Yeah, that's at the
Right.
drive-in.
Oh, I'm thinking about something else. I'm thinking about, like, the cop starts, like, feeling her up.
Yeah,
and, like,
that's when they get pulled over on their way to Niagara Falls.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's in like the empty field, and like they're on their way to Niagara Falls, and then he goes like, "Oh, just pretend that
This
I'm
scene
sick."
was very uncomfortable.
It was a little uncomfortable because, like, you know, he starts joking with her, and then she starts joking back, and then has her get out of the car, and then he starts trying to like feel her up by like cracking this like inappropriate
Like limericks.
jokes. Yeah, of going like, "Oh, there was a man from Nantucket, and he said to fuck it," and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then like Frank ends up like killing him
Super
and the other
creepy.
cop.
Yeah.
So, which is great, I
Yeah, it
will
was very
say.
good.
So, but yeah, so then they steal another car, and then they go to the drive-in.
Yeah.
So, and then because the detectives are following them, and so she goes like, now she's become the lead, and like when they go through the gas station, because the detective goes like, hey, like, I have a question, blah, 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 whatever, or like, here's the information. The cops pay no attention to her because she's a woman.
Oh yeah, and then
because
she goes the woman, she's like,
the woman like secretary or something like that, and she goes like, "Where's there a movie theater around here?"
Yeah,
and then that's why she goes to the drive-in, is because that she's waiting for them to come in, and then they have that heart-to-heart moment in the car where it's just like, I'm like, Frank is a monster because he basically betrayed her by not telling her the truth and everything, and then she goes like, okay, well, I don't want to be, I'm not Ida, I'm not Penny, I'm not the bride of Frankenstein, I'm the bride.
Yeah.
And then that's when he like goes like, I didn't love you for your body, I loved you for your beautiful brain.
Yeah, your mind.
I don't want to obliterate you. It's your mind that I love. The bride, not till death do us part. I love you till the end of time.
Because we were dead to begin with.
They finally have sex because like she, which is great because like in New York, she goes like, oh, like, let's bang. Like, we're married and everything. Let's just have sex. And then she starts to like give him head. And then he goes like, no, no, thank you. Like, I don't want this. No, thanks.
It's like, what she say is like, I'd rather not do that.
Yeah.
That's like a recurring...
Yeah, that's like her whole shtick is like, I'd rather not.
I'd rather not, yeah.
But like, he goes like, will you marry me? And she said yes. And he goes like, oh my God, like, thank you so much. And then he gets shot in the head.
Yeah.
So by the cops, because they show up and like the Clyde was about to actually like shoot her and stuff.
Right, right.
So anything... Oh, the one last thing that I wanted to say was the whole women movement.
This is a brain attack.
Yeah,
because of that brain attack thing, that whole spiel that she has at that dinner or that party or whatever, and they're off on the run again, and that's what starts this whole movement of women
are getting behind this of like,
so
brain attack.
Yeah, so then they start like shooting up places. They start dressing like her. They start getting tattoos of the lipstick and the smear that's on her
which is
face.
Again, like very visually striking.
Yes.
All the black, it gets stained on her. Like costuming is really, really.
Oh yeah, like it was her tongue, her lipstick, the smear that's on her mouth and cheek, as well as like on her hands.
Yeah,
and like there's also like a little bit going down her neck towards like her chest, which is also...
They could have just made her have the white hair with like the black stripe going down, which is usually how the Bride of Frankenstein is portrayed.
Yeah, well, it's like the other way around, but yeah. It's like she has white hair, but she has black hair and she's got the white streak going down, and it's also like super tall.
Yeah, they chose to like do the white hair.
It's like the Marge Simpson hairstyle from The Simpsons.
So, but like, I guess are you talking about like the post-credit scene?
No. But yeah, we could talk about that too, because like at the end, like the women have Lupino tied up, and
That's
have
what
like
I'm talking about.
Yeah. So like, but yeah, that also happens like early on in the movie too, like halfway through the movie.
Yeah.
Because after the whole party, she has that whole freak out, and then that starts a movement for women, because she starts talking about how like women are lesser people and all this bunch of stuff, and like we just want respect and whatever, and then she incites this revolution of women, and then at the post-credit scene, there's a group of women that are at that bar, restaurant, whatever you want to call it, with Lupino tied up, and they're tattooing that smear on his mouth. I thought
that was really cool.
So yeah, I thought that was also really cool that he got his justice served. So, and I think it would have been really cool if they actually cut out his tongue too and they placed it on the table.
Yeah,
I think that would have been also pretty cool. So, but the other thing too is that like I didn't realize this until like towards the end of the movie, that Greta also did the same thing, that she went and got her mouth tattooed. I was all like, oh, what is that on her mouth? And then I realized like when all that stuff was happening, that I was just oh yeah, she's just a part of the movement as well. And so like, especially when she brings in the newspaper for the doctor.
Yeah.
So, but the last thing I had was like the dumb guy, because like, when they're talking to Lupino, James.
Yeah.
The dumb fat dude that he starts joking around with him.
Got a lisp.
Yeah, and then Lupino points out his gun at him, and he goes like, "Oh yeah, bang, bang, bang," and then he actually shoots him in the head. That was great. Oh, it was funny. I laughed so hard at that. I'm like, you fucking dumbass. It was funny. All right. Anything else on this?
Nope.
That you have? All right. Yeah, I think we talked about this long enough. So, yeah. So now we'll move on to this being a rent, buy, or skip. So a rent is just, an occasional watch. We'll watch it every so often. A buy is, of course, it's a fuck yeah type of movie. I love this movie that I'm going to actually go out and buy it, especially now that it's out by the time this comes out. Maybe this will entice you to go and buy it, possibly. Yeah. Or is it a skip? It's a piece of dog shit movie. I don't care to watch this ever. I don't care. So I'll just... Well, since you actually have a more concrete decision, I'll have you go first.
Yeah, I won't make this too long. I think it's a rent.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
I think it would definitely. I would like to go back and watch this again.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's worth your time. Especially if you saw Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein,
right?
And you were kind of like, yeah, it's just a bit too artsy for me, a little bit too dramatic and drawn out. This one is more, I don't want to say it's more fun, but it's more chaotic and it's more raunchy, definitely.
Right, for sure.
Very raunchy movie. But I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was going to. I mean, I based all of my I go into a movie pretty having an idea of how it's going to be just based on like what I see the reviews are on Google, and I was pleasantly surprised that it was better than I thought it was going to be. I wouldn't say it's a buy personally, but I'll probably watch this movie again at some point if I ever see it. Like that's not like renting it for $6
right
on a streaming service or something like that. But like it was good. I enjoyed watching it. I watched it again.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm on the fence with it being a rent or a buy. Halfway through the movie, I was like, okay, this is a rent. But by the end of it, I was just like, I don't know. I'm kind of veering more towards it being a buy. So let me just get all of my thoughts out real quick, and maybe I'll make a decision. I actually really enjoyed this movie. And like I already said earlier in the show, was that it's kind of like a Bonnie and Clyde meets Joker, fully a do, together, because it's got both characters. I think halfway through the movie they just start being outlaws and start basically killing a bunch of people and stuff like that, and then no caution to the wind, and then it's also the same cadence of Joker 2, where you've got Harley Quinn and Joker, and they're just crazy for each other, but they hate each other at the same time, and all she hates him more specifically, and all this bunch of stuff, but they're a perfect pair and a perfect match for each other.
I felt like Joker at Fully Ado is more forced.
Yeah, it was more forced for sure, just because it's Joker and it's Harley Quinn, so they have to be together. But it's also the same thing for this movie, where it's all it's Frankenstein and the Bride.
Yeah,
so
they have to be together.
They have to be together. So it's kind of like that, but that one, Joker, is more forced than this one was, because it's he wanted her as a companion, but then she was all I just want to be free and I just want to do my own thing.
I love how the Bride was her own person before she was reanimated, and not just a blank slate.
Right.
That makes it more interesting. And
100%.
That Mary Shelley is rooting around in her head as well, just also kind of fucking things up too.
Yeah.
It makes it it cuts away from what you expect to happen, and you there's a lot more there's more complexity in the characters behind just I'm a woman, Frankenstein,
Yeah, for sure. And then you got Jesse Buckley and Christian Bale. They played the characters super, super well. This is a different version of Frankenstein than we've ever seen before, especially from the one that came out last year with Guillermo del Toro on Netflix. And then there's not a whole lot of stuff that you see about the Bride of Frankenstein, except for the one black and white movie that came out forever ago. and everything like that, because like, you know, Jessie Buckley did a fantastic job as not just one character, but as 3 different characters that are all different in their own way.
Yeah.
Like Ida is, you know, one character. Mary Shelley is super erratic, and then the bride is just a mixture of both of them combined
together. Yeah.
And as well as like, you know, just the way that she delivered playing as Mary Shelley as well.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, she's Mary Shelley in the darkness, but
that, like,
also her as the bride.
Like, wheezing laugh.
Yeah,
was,
like
really
and
good.
also flip-flopping between her dialect and her accent
I
to
can't
being
imagine
like
how many
the bride.
takes that took. You know.
Right. Yeah, because like when I first saw the beginning, I was just like, oh shit, like she's able to flip this on a dime. Like
Yeah.
that's awesome. That's amazing. So, but yeah, you know, like of course everybody else did a fantastic job. You know, like, and this wasn't Maggie Gyllenhaal's first movie that she specifically did, but this is like her first major motion picture that she actually did. I think she also produced it as well, if I remember correctly. Yeah, because she wrote it, directed it, and produced it herself.
Yeah.
So with like, you know, she also had help producing, but still.
Right.
I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence with this because like I just don't know. Because like I could see myself buying it and watching it over and over and over again just because I would really enjoy it. So ultimately, I'm going to fucking stick it. It's going to be a buy.
Okay.
Fuck yeah!
Best of the best, sir. With honors.
So I'm not mad about that decision. And honestly, I probably might buy it when it comes out.
I would give this movie on like a scale of 1 to 10, probably like a 7.5.
Yeah.
I
would
decent.
say mine's about an 8.5 to a 9.
Okay.
So pretty solid for sure. So I feel like
not my favorite, but I thought it was good.
right.
So.
If this movie, because obviously it did come out in theaters, I wouldn't have gone to go and see it in theaters. Like if I
Right.
was really into it, then yeah, I probably would have went to go and see it and probably been blown away. The only thing that I didn't like was that it's over 2 hours. It could have been shortened maybe by
I don't know.
15 minutes.
I thought it was fine. I thought it went by.
Because it didn't feel like it was overdrawn out, and it wasn't like you pause it and then you have to see how much is left. It wasn't like that.
I never did that.
So, but it's not like, you know, keeps you at the edge of your seat
Yeah.
either, of going like, I need to know what happens next type of thing, you know? So,
I just like watching the characters. I thought the characters were good.
right. So, but anyhow, let's go ahead and finish this off with suggested people. So we'll go into IMDb, look up a 110, sometimes both star review, see what other people have to say about this movie. And since this is actually a newer movie, we can actually know what other people are talking about it right here, right now.
Yeah.
So, especially when it came out in theaters from a few months ago. So, since we both say that it's a pretty decently good movie, we'll see what the 1-star reviewers have to say.
Yeah.
So, one person says, "Waste of my life." Mary Shelley speaking to the audience in the first scene. "I should have left then. This movie made me groan. Gimmicky, self-important. How does nonsense like this get funded? An utter insult to the audience. No plot, underdeveloped characters, cheaply graphic gore scenes. It seemed like dialogue was written by AI. Just awful. A waste of time and money." So, like, what does that mean, my guy?
Yeah, this guy saves women. Probably.
Yeah. Also, 114 people liked it, and 52 disliked it. So that tells you anything.
I don't know.
Like, cause you know, like this movie it's good, right? And it's not gonna tickle everybody's fancy.
I thought it was good.
Yeah.
Don't really have too many complaints about it.
Right. And then
it wasn't amazing,
right.
but I never really thought it was too preachy or anything like that.
Yeah, and it's not specifically pointing out like girl power, or anything like that. It's not trying to push an agenda onto you.
They could have made like the bride like a badass girl boss. You know?
Exactly.
Like if we don't have a million of those, you know.
Right. Which I'm all for those movies every so often, but not if it's like a specifically woman director, writer, star, all that bunch of stuff. But then it's just like, we're sending a message that girls can get it. And it's just like, yeah, like we get that, but you don't have to try to jam it down my throat though.
Yeah.
And like, and I get, it's the same thing for man movies, right? Like, men are badass and fucking take no shit from anybody, and we're fucking cool because we drive cars and we shoot guns and we kick people's asses and stuff and take no names.
Like, another movie that's kind of like not exactly like this, but like has a similar message of like, very women related
focused
themes.
or driven.
The Barbie movie.
Yeah.
And I liked the Barbie movie.
Yeah, and I loved the Barbie movie.
I thought it was great. I thought it poked just enough fun at. It was very satirical. Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry, John Wick. So, but like I mean, I really hadn't any complaints. I thought I got through it pretty well without having to stop and groan like this guy did.
Right.
Like,
so, and like, anybody that just goes like, oh yeah, this movie's terrible for all these reasons, like this guy did.
This guy
it's
just
like, do you not enjoy movies? Is that your thing? You just go to the movie theater and you just stare at the wall?
This guy can't cope with the fact that Mary Shelley, that the author of Frankenstein was a woman.
Right.
Like,
shit, Mary Shelley, who made Frankenstein, is a woman? What?
I thought Frankenstein was just a
moniker.
monster that came out in the 1930s. A book?
Yeah.
What are books?
Right. And then we'll finish it off with this one. Nothing special. Too much of Joker and Harley Quinn feel with a Bonnie and Clyde atmosphere. Did not see anything special about it. And I did not read this when I made that connection.
Yeah.
I came up with that conclusion on my own.
So
I will get that out there.
This movie is infinitely better than Joker Folie
Yes.
I tried to defend that movie. Like I said, it wasn't as bad. You thought it was a skip. I thought it was fine for what it was. It wasn't great, but it wasn't like as bad as everyone said it was.
Yeah.
But then I saw this one. I was like, okay, maybe I'm starting to see what people are saying about Joker. Folie
Yeah.
So
yeah,
this one puts Joker Folie to shame.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, and then they continue to say, I wanted to see more paranormal monster, and what we got was psycho Batman villain type instead.
Huh?
Horrible.
Psycho Batman? What?
It's basically like, Harley Quinn going fucking cuckoo crazy bananas is what it was.
I didn't really. I can separate those two,
Yes. And then they also said there are some visual lovely moments, which is true, but overall did not feel the chemistry or the story plot, if you want to call it that. The story did not fit nor make a point in what was the true purpose.
Well, I don't think the chemistry, the point is that there is no chemistry. That it was not real.
Yeah.
And that it's a story about this woman who
was reanimated,
who died. Who died was unfairly murdered,
right?
Essentially, and then is now she didn't ask to be possessed by the author of a book from the 19th century. She didn't ask to be thrown down a flight of stairs. She didn't ask to be brought back from the dead.
Right.
She's going through a lot of complex feelings and emotions that
she doesn't understand what's happening, where she's at.
The things that happen to her are not natural,
right?
And she's
and she doesn't remember anything in her past life. And even when she gets called Ida by the detective, no memories flood back.
Right.
She just knows that, oh, my name's Ida, and Frank basically lied to me this whole fucking time.
You were expecting Frankenstein to be Frankenstein's a flawed character.
Nonsensical, just monster.
You could say that every character in this, besides maybe the detective, is a flawed character.
Yeah.
And you can have a character that doesn't there's never going to have a storybook ending between these two. They're both monsters. They're both undead creatures, essentially. They're not humans.
No.
Yeah,
because they're already dead, and even with Frank, he was never alive to begin with. He was just given life. So, he's made of mismatched parts from different people.
Yeah.
So, and then she's just herself, just come back. That's it. So, but yeah, I don't know. The people like that are just idiots.
Yeah.
So, and with that being said, go and check out the movie. Tell us what you thought about it in the comments. Just, if you think it's a run, buy, or skip, let us know. So
we hope that this will be a timely upload. So I'm interested to see what people think about this movie.
Yeah,
so
that's for sure. So
we liked it.
Yeah, I fairly enjoyed it. You know, let us know if you enjoyed it. Would you rent, buy, or skip it? So who knows? But with that being said, thank you everybody again so much for watching, listening, tuning in, and be sure to subscribe to all the things, share this around.
I want you to tell all your friends about me.
And we'll see you guys next week for a brand new movie or not. So I don't know. I'll have to
see. Like I said, we're at a hectic schedule right now.
I'm going to be I'm going to be looking to see what new movies come out. So
okay.
I'm gonna track down a list of movies and then just jot them down on a list so that way we have a schedule in place.
Yeah.
So that'll be the thing. And keep a lookout on the Instagram and TikTok and stuff because I'm gonna be posted on there too. So.
And if there's a movie that is coming out that you would like us to review, leave a comment and we'll take a look.
Yeah, because there's gonna be some bangers coming out pretty soon in June.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be awesome. I can't wait.
We'll see.
So, but we'll see you guys next week. So bye.
Bye.